Alrighty everybody, welcome back to Train Sim World 2, and we are in it for another short mission, the Y106 refueling mission. We're starting at 4 o'clock or 1600 p.m. and the goal is to take advantage of the break-in activity to head over to the pit, refuel the locomotives, and when we're done, we're expecting inbound traffic, so come back and get ready for that. This is supposed to take 20 minutes. We're doing the GP38-2 YN2, the usual details for the weight, the number of engines, and the size. So our goal is to head over there at 0.7 miles away. So let's go ahead and set this one as our main engine. And what we need to do for this, we'll turn on the gen field here, and we will turn on the gauge light. We will set our cutout to freight, MU2A valve to lead or dead, and up and over here we'll turn on our lights, and we'll set this to controlling with long hood end. And this engine with plus the inside lights here should be set. We just need our headlights, and that should cover it. And for the sake of this, I might as well blow the horn now so we have the bell turned on. That way then, at least it's on and rolling. And we know this is released, so that's good to go. We're gonna also double check our engine is running. Let's hop in here, make sure we can hear our engine. I'm gonna turn this up a little. That should do it. So that tells me my engine's rolling and running. Let's go ahead and cross over here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the walk and do the extra walking in this one. And we're gonna double check the engine in this one as well. Make sure this cranks up. Alright, we should be good to go with both of these engines. And we will double check one other thing over here. We're gonna make sure we got our light down on the release panel there. And what we're gonna do is set this to controlled from another unit coupled on either end. Set our number light, and the only other thing we got to do is turn these three switches off. Oh my gosh, these switches, oh my gosh. Try to say that 20,000 times fast, right? And let's head back. We got another line right over there. And we should be good. Did I even close that door? I don't think I closed the door. Oh, I did, okay. I thought I didn't close the door. I might as well just close this too, we don't need it. And let's hop into the seat before they yell at me. It's still November 1st, 2018. Apparently we don't seem to change the day for the first couple missions here. And we might as well turn on the heat for this lady here. Make sure we're nice. Okay, that's too much heat. There we go. Don't need to overheat her, you know. But yeah, let's check our lights here. We have wheel slip, brake warning, sand, PCS open, and we might as well check our fuse. Make sure our fuse works. We know the breaker is on both of these engines, even though I didn't check the other one. And let us get this engine on a roll. We need to set the reverser in and forward to be able to get anything to happen here. And release our handbrake, and we should be good to go. We're going to make sure our switches are in place for this to happen. We're going to be going to the refueling stand. So to get to the refueling stand, we gotta go all the way down here. My goodness, what a ways we gotta go here. That one needs to change. And then this one needs to change. And that one's okay. And we're almost there. This one. And these two are okay. And we're good to go. So we're gonna be stopping here, I think. Let me go double check my timetable. It says we're stopping at location. Okay, we are stopping. And then we're going to stop at a second location and stop at a third location. The third location basically would be stopping the train. But the place we're stopping over here, more than likely what we're going to do is we're going to back up and go into the refueling area, which as far as I know is all the way somewhere else. Where's the gas canister? I'm looking for the little gas can. There it is. So we got to go all the way over here. So we got to find our way to get there without crashing into this guy here. So we're going to be switching up at least one of these switches over here to do that. And let's make sure we don't speed as we go along. And let's roll it forward. 900 yards away before we stop. Oh, and by the way, as the train starts to speed here, we're going to check the fuel. It says 13.99. So technically we have more than enough fuel in this engine to really go anywhere. But whatever, it wants us to make sure that we are pretty freshly fueled in this engine. Let's slow it down to 12 here for a second. There it goes, perfect. So I'm gonna go skip over into the other engine here just to check the fuel in this engine as well. This one also the 1399. So what we're gonna essentially be doing, we're gonna be fueling the train up to about 1700, I think it is. And with the 1700, we're gonna be getting these engines ready to go for the next roll. And the next roll is gonna be taking these two engines all the way to the top of the sand patch grade. And that will end officially chapter 1 of this game. And so it's really nice to know that we can do this, that the progression of this game really is back to back. And it's not like each episode is independent of each other, but they do it in such a nice way to tie it together tutorial wise to really give you a good example of what you need to do in these trains and how to drive them and such. On top of that, they don't even tell you how to drive the train. So you get these double standard in a way. Alright, let's pop outside for a second. And we're going to have to find a good picture spot for this engine at some point here. And maybe on the way back, we could probably get a good picture because we'll be going in a uphill fashion, I guess you could say, so it won't be so bad. Yeah, so let's see. So more than likely, we're going to be switching up this track here as far as I know. Unless we're going to go refuel somewhere out there, so we'll see what happens here. 180 yards, so at this point, we should probably be slowing this train down a little bit. Let's get us down to 10 miles an hour, and we'll work up from that point. Okay, we gotta slow down way more than that. 8, 7, 6. Okay, good. This should do it. So 63 yards away, and we're at the right speed for this to happen. This is good enough. 5 miles an hour. Yeah, so the idea here is moving the engine to be able to refuel them, and what the game's trying to do is teach us to check our fuel before we go driving off anywhere and kind of mess with the train, right? Worst thing we could do is drive with an empty tank. Okay, perfect. We're stopping at right on schedule. That is perfect. Thank you. Give me my points. Right on. And now we're going to be stopping all the way over there. So before we even get going, let's make sure our switches are set. So this is the one that I was talking about here. This one's going to need to get switched over for sure. And then that one's okay. This one needs to get switched. And that one's okay. And then we're going to be going right down the line out to this switch. And then this is the one that needs to change so we don't accidentally crash into the wrong engine over there. And this one here is going to drive us in. This one needs to change, and this one's okay. And the very last couple of switches here, that one's okay. That one's definitely the wrong switch. This one needs to change, and that one is okay. And we should slide up. Oh, we got to change this one too. So we should be able to slide right into this spot here, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to drive this out somewhere else. So we'll see where we drive it after the fact. So we're heading out to our gas station. Let us set the engine into reverse, and we'll throttle it up and release our independent brake and get ourselves moving. Now, of course, I'm staying in the same engine. There's no point to move it around, but that's perfectly fine. I'll just work with what I got. So this mission actually should be pretty short. I think it says maybe 15 minutes or something like that. So here's where, by the way, the time would matter. So if we had a target time that we had to meet, and here's the time that we hit it, I think that's where the action point would get messed up, action point wise, to say that, hey, you should have been a little faster in terms of doing these 3 things. And so it's all dependent on what the actual time would have been. So it just sucks that it says wait till service and it's already 1600 when the service starts. So you end up losing some time in a way on the process of waiting for the service to start because you can't start any earlier, so to speak. And so I wish I could get started 30 minutes in, so to speak, and then just get my engine set up. But I guess you have to wait till the actual 1600, so to speak, and then start your service from 1600 forward. And something to keep in mind, we have a 10 mile an hour limit up ahead. Now, of course, I just don't always see the one over here on the right, so it just actually helped me to kind of have an extra visual just in case. We got to drive a mile at 15 miles an hour and then eventually drop down to 10. This game on the sand patch grade gets actually easier the longer you play this, and so it's just a big grind now. But once you get your train moving to like 50 miles an hour, the train starts moving along and hustling. The biggest problem is screwing up. So if you screw up along the way, there's no like save point mid-game to be able to, well, there is. So if I hit the option button here, I could hit the save button, but it doesn't always work right. So even if I did this now, it says the current game's been saved, but if I try to reload it, it may not properly tally the score. It may screw up something. Maybe my engine will derail or something like that, right? You never know what happens. And so I try really hard not to have to save and then quit and then come back later. There's going to be one of these missions I'm definitely going to have to do that one way or another. But for now, I'm going to work with it. So let's try to get as close to 15 as possible here. And we got to make sure we change our mileage 0.6 miles out. And actually, let's do this. Let's go into this car here, and this will be a good one to hang out in for now. And then we also got to get a picture way down there up ahead, so we're going to make sure we get this right. And if I'm really lucky, 800 yards out, I'm going to slow this train down on a hillside where the yardage will actually slow itself down for me and I won't have to do any work. So let's see what happens. I may not even need to brake here. So we're 11 miles an hour, 750 yards. Let's see if it drops down to 10. If it does, I'm just going to stick with it and just roll on through. Here's our wonderful switching control tower. The boys are in there working hard. They have all their shades up, probably their feet up on the console as they roll around here. This is probably why I'm the one who's got to do all the switching work. But that's perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine. Let's throttle up a little bit just to make sure we stay as close to 10 as possible, because I don't want to have to wait too long. I think it's dropping down. Let's go inside. Yeah, minus, oh wait, 2.1. Oh, it's speeding up. Okay. Let's just idle that for a second and get this just a little bit under 10. And then we should be able to get it. There we go. 9.9. That should do it. Oh, it's going back up to 10. Really? Well, fine then. See if we could just drop it under and just kind of keep it there. So what's happening is speeding up by a couple of feet per minute. Okay, that should do it. Let's see what happens, what it actually does when I throttle up. Yeah, it's starting to speed up a little bit. Oh well. Well, we'll work with it. We'll try to stay as close to 9.9. I wish we can get the point number in the higher speeds. It would be really nice if I could do that. But hey, it's what it is. Yeah, see, now I'm dropping really fast. So hard to keep the speed just right. But that's where you got the dynamic brake. That's where that comes in handy. At least when you climb the sandpatch grade itself. 260 yards to stay at 10 miles an hour. And we're going to be cutting it close. Smashing into that beam right there twice. The telephone pole and the beam. Jeez. Alright, we should be docking pretty soon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out to the other camera. And I'm actually, for now, I'm just going to wait right in here to make sure that this train does not exceed 10 miles an hour, as close as I can get it. And I also want to get a good picture somehow of this engine driving into the fuel refueling port, or even as it stops there. That'd be fine. I could work with that, one or the other. Yeah, so it's just a slow creep upwards. So hard to work with sometimes. And we'll wait for 9.9 and then we'll just drop it off. So this is where our speed should automatically just default to a change there. And now we're 481 yards out that way. So let's just go ahead and zoom ourselves all the way over here. And it wouldn't hurt actually to snap a picture with this engine. But how close will I be? I will be super close if I do that. We'll see. I'll try to get this picture first. And if I'm lucky, I might actually slow down just right to where it just rolls on in and it just parks itself. That'd be so great, right? I know, I'm like this cameraman on the side of the road here, just hanging out here, just ready for a photo shoot. Let's see what we can get. 6.4. It might accidentally stop itself before it even stops where it's supposed to stop. 300 and something yards away. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna try to snap this picture first with the train on that side, and then I'll snap the picture of the train on the opposite side if I can get it. The first picture starting right about here. Oh, look at that light. That's so beautiful. That light right there on the side of the engine. And then we're going to try to snap the picture as soon as it passes that engine. So maybe with the picture of the refueling center at the same time. Let's see if we can get both of it. See what our speed limit is. 2.9. We're definitely going to stop ahead of time. But this is kind of cool. We got a WD-40 or an SW-40 or whatever. SD-40. There we go. As well as the GP38s here. See if we can get both of it in the image here. As close as we can get that. Okay, there we go. Well, we gotta speed up because we're slowing down here. 1 mile an hour? No, we gotta go much faster than that. We gotta get all the way inside this thing. Get ourselves at least up to 5 miles an hour, and that should about cover it, because we're about 160 yards away. Okay, that should do. 6 miles an hour. Hopefully that'll stop. Right on target. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is where I kind of wonder, can I or can't I? Oh, look at that. That's so cool. I never knew it had a window. But the dials are all blurry. That's messed up. When we zoom back here, you can totally see the dials. That's super cool. There's like an emergency shut-off button and everything. Let's capture this real quick. Maybe wait till it gets a little closer or something. I know I'm going to pass it up, so let's get some brakes on here. One more picture. That should do it. 2.4. Oh yes, please, 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 please. Oh, so close, so close. I want to make sure we get both engines into the frame here somehow. There it goes, that's good enough. We stopped at location, independent brake is on, and it says stop at location again. That's funny, we don't even have to refuel. That's flipping hilarious. It says we don't even have to refuel. All we have to do is just drive over there. Well, we're gonna get out here and we're gonna actually refuel our engine. Let's see if we can actually reach this one. I don't know if we can reach that one. I probably should have set the engine on neutral, but that's okay. Let's see if this thing, well, first off, let's fill up this one first. Go ahead and get this thing refueling. See how much fuel we can get in this tank. And actually, I don't remember. Do they have an extra stand on the other side? Really? I can't climb up? What the heck, man? Oh my god, it just went right through the engine. That's flipping hilarious. I went right through the engine. Oh my god. Well, whatever. I think it's done now. Let's see. 1700? Yes, it's done. Pop that off. Put this back. Let's go ahead and close the cap. And let's see if we can actually reach the other engine. Really? It won't let me reach the other engine. That's hilarious. Well, we'll leave the cap open for now. Okay. I guess we'll back up a little bit more to get that engine refueled as well. So let's do it. In fact, I could probably use the ability of sticking my head out this window here to be able to get this back over there a little bit more. And we will stop moving here. There we go. This should do it. So now we're going to go ahead and stop this train here. And that should do. Let's hop out of this engine now. I think we should be close enough to that fuel cap now. Oh, right on target. Perfect. Let's get this one refueled as well. Oh my god, what a mess. It's all knotted up. My goodness, every time you leave the knots alone. And this one's already starting to use fuel just from that little bit of fuel there. Goodness. I wish I could actually press the emergency shutoff button. It would be kind of cool to be able to do that. Alright, there's our 1700. This one's now full. I don't know what's up with this, but it's like all messed up right now. Let's see if we can fix this. I can't even get up. I wish I could jump now. Can I fix it this way? Come on. Okay, it's all screwed up. How about now? Oh, there it goes. Now it's all better. Cool. We fixed the wires. At least the tube for the hose is better now. No longer tied up in a knot. Alright, next up is to move us 1.2 miles in the other direction. So let's figure out where we have to go. Let's check our map. In the meantime, we can definitely get this engine moving forward. So we'll just set this going. And we know we have to stay at least 10 miles an hour. So let's check and see what switches we have to move. None of these switches, at least, need to be moved at all. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to drive to the exact same spot that I stopped at originally. Oh no, it looks like we're going a little further. Oh no, we're stopping at the exact same place. So it looks like we're going to park the train here and then that'll be the end of the mission. Okay, good. 15 miles an hour and about 400 yards out, and then from there we can finally speed up and get us moving. Yeah, the trick here is really just to let your train coast out. Might as well just stay at 7 miles an hour and then it will coast the rest of the way out for the next 300 yards and eventually make its way to 10 yards or 10 miles an hour at some point, and then at some point you'll cross the 15 mile an hour barrier, and then at that point you can kind of speed up if you're lucky. So we'll see if we can do this. We'll see what happens. It's gonna take us a few minutes to get there, that's for sure. So yeah, what else is there to do at 10 miles an hour as you're just rolling along, just cruising away, right? Not a whole lot, other than just taking in the beautiful scenery right here. This is gorgeous. I'm just gonna take that picture for me. And that's about it for there. And I don't even know what this building is. This looks like it's supposed to be for gravel, where gravel would go. Who knows? 8.2, and we're about 100 yards out. As soon as we pass this point right here, we should be good to finally speed up, and our train should be rolling forward after that. And actually, this will make a fantastic picture right in here with the highlight of the sun and the glint of the light and all that good stuff. So let's take our picture. Oh, cool, I got myself in the image. That's amazing. Look at that. Oh, I lost myself. All because of that thing. It blocked, man. We'll get it this way. That'll be fine. I know the motion blur actually ruined some of these pictures. So I've tried to take a couple pictures like this, for example, and the motion blur basically screwed it up. And so I'm like, should I turn it back off? I don't know. It's on essentially by setting, and it worked kind of nice for myself. It just sucks for pictures. So I don't know. We'll have to play that by ear at least. Let's get ourselves to 15 miles an hour and we'll speed ourselves up there. And hopefully we don't go over, so I don't have to restart this for like 100 million times. Sucks that you have to restart the game because you speed like one time, you know? If anything, what I need to pay attention to is this thing here. So as soon as this crosses... So what it says here, by the way, again, is this is 0.5 feet miles per hour per minute. And what that means is essentially it's adding 0.5 feet to the 14 miles an hour every minute. And at some point that 0.5 miles per hour will make this turn 15. And this here will turn 15 before that ever turned 15. But I'm never ever cognizant of paying attention to either one of those things. And so I'm always like, oh crap, I'm going 20 miles an hour. And I'm just not paying attention to anything when that happens. So it just sucks. But we want to try to get there as soon as possible because 6.6 miles is a very long way to go at 15 miles an hour, you know what I mean? But we're just going to coast it as best we can. And there's our control tower, buddies. So might as well open the window and say, hey. We'll just give them a good wave out the window. Make sure that's not turning to 15 as we do it. And of course, they've got the blinds shut one more time, and all of them are just enjoying their freshly air-conditioned rooms. Their feet up, and I'm the one who has to do all the switching around here. At least I don't have to go in there and use the switchboard, so that's actually a plus. There's the 15 miles right there, so this is probably a good time to slow our train down just a touch, and that should about cover it. According to what it says there, it's -3 feet, so that should be enough to get ourselves there. Oh, 1% independent brake. That's amazing. Look at that. 0.2. Oh, that's perfect. I can work with that. That should get me all the way over there. Let's see how that works. There's the gorgeous river right there. What a gorgeous picture right there, and that little spot. Even this is not a bad picture either. I'm gonna watch my speed here because I'm going to go over. Take a couple more pictures there. I'm already at 14, so let me see. I want to stay on the outside, so I'm just gonna bump this just a little bit, maybe 2%. Let's see what 2% does. 0.3. Can I get this to be like 5%? 2.1. Okay, I can work with that. 0.1. Okay, I can work with that too. But I want to be a little bit slower. Because we're already coming on our destination. Don't want to slow myself down. I wish I could just like walk out there, check out the farm that's out that way, and check out the cities and stuff, but this game won't let you. It's got a very narrow window on what it considers proper game format in terms of areas you can explore. It's most of it side by side with the tracks and whatnot. But there's a few areas we can get around, mostly in the switching yard at least. So 170 yards, let's get us slowed down even more than this. And we should be coming up for a nice smooth stop, I hope. Let's bail that off, and we're just going to kind of roll ourselves there. I wonder what this building is. It's got a lot of cars there, so it's obviously an office industrial building. It might be maybe a management corporate building. I'm just taking a wild guess here. What this building could be in the middle of nowhere, right? It's got a purpose. It could be where I work, because that's probably the reason I'm stopping here, so I can go pick up my car. Alright, 20 yards, and we gotta get ourselves stopped the rest of the way here. And this should conclude this mission. Bam, there we are. 1830. Let's get us a gold medal. If you don't give me the gold, I'm going to be upset with that. Wow, I did pretty good. I don't know what this weird bump is. Oh, this is me driving the locomotive backwards to refuel the other one. That makes sense. Okay, and that's the mission. We're done. 27 minutes. Much longer than it should have, but that's because of 10 miles an hour. What do you expect, right? We drove 3 miles and we walked about 400 feet, or 400 yards actually. So if you like this episode, please, of course, like, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye, everybody. This mission is not the best because it's just rainy the entire time, and so here I am just talking to you in the dark and in the rain. So it's not the easiest mission to work with, and it's even more terrible when you're in the engine like this, trying to figure out what the heck's going on in your train. And you could get away turning off the cabin light like this, which gives you a little bit more visibility, but then you can't even see your own instruments, and so it's kind of a catch-22 between the glare on the window. So thankfully this game at least gives you a couple options like this.